Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Heike, this is my assistant Lola the ragdoll cat, and you're watching Stone Cold Coffee Crafts. Today is Wednesday, July the 15th, and this is another daily crafty chat. First up, I am sorry that I did not film a daily crafty chat yesterday. I did not know that when I filmed on Monday, but I got a bit of a special thing assigned at work that had to be done by Tuesday close of business, and a lot of mathing was involved in that. So I was quite busy for a day and a half about, and let me tell you, it was glorious because I've been very bored at work in the last few months. So I did not mind it at all. Kitty cat, I know you want cuddles, but the people would like to see the painting, I think. Well, that being said, that's the reason why the amount of crafting I'm going to show you today is not very impressive for 2 days for me. I'm always just talking about me. I know people have different amounts of time they can dedicate to crafting, and my amount of time is usually pretty high. It has not been in the last 2 days. So what I'm going to show you is probably about what I usually do within a day, maybe even a little less, because the knitting is not going to be very impressive for 2 days. Let's say it that way. Okay, Kitty has removed her butt from the section of diamond painting. So I did not diamond paint on Monday, but I did diamond paint yesterday. I finished this section, so we are now in the second half of the painting. Kitty cat, kitty cat. Let me quickly remove the cover paper. I know that's mean of me because it means that you can't step on the painting for a few minutes. So we've reached the third mermaid down here, only the beginning of her head and her arm, and yeah, we are going to go into the interesting sea creatures now. Yeah, that was sticky. We already had a couple of fish up here, and now we are going to have more fish, a jellyfish, and finally the reds and oranges, hopefully day after tomorrow. I hope I can keep up a bit of more of a regular schedule for the rest of the week. Yeah, like I said, not very impressive. Still within the time frame I've set myself, so I'm still not panicking. Today marks the middle of the month and I'm past the middle mark of this painting, so perfectly fine. Nothing to complain about. Anything else I would like to say about this? No, it's a blast. So if you have been interested in this painting, it is still available on principle. It is currently sold out, but if you have been interested in this painting and haven't purchased it yet for whatever reason, I would say go ahead. As far as I can see, I'm pretty confident about that. I'm not going to run out of the color I substituted in the mermaid up here. You can't see her face right now, but as you remember, I substituted the colors that were originally shaded in her face and arm to make her face and arm look a little bit more like this, because they charted completely in white, which looked very odd. So as far as I can see, I will not run out of the 963. We have to wait on a verdict for the 758 it is, because there's more of it coming in this mermaid, and there's a little bit in the bottom part, but only confetti. So there isn't a huge amount. The biggest amount is here. I think once we have done this, and it has been enough, we are good. I also substituted parts of her hair. So there are another 2 colors where we'll have to see if I have enough. I think I do, but we will have to wait and see. I think it's the same for that color I'm the most concerned about. Yeah, once we have done these 2 sections, we should pretty much know if we are fine with the colors or not. So I'll let you know then, but if it is enough, I would highly recommend changing out the colors. I'm going to provide in my final review of this painting, if all the drills are enough. I'm not going to promote doing this if I run out of drills at some point, because I might have enough in my stash to replace missing drills, but you might not, so that would not be a recommendation I do. Also, how was this packed? Was this packed in individual bags or weight? Can't remember anymore. If you buy it now, it comes in weight strings, so maybe that would also be an issue. I'm not entirely sure. I would say make sure first you have more of these colors on hand from previous diamond paintings before you decide to replace any colors. But if you do, I would highly recommend that. And I will post detailed pictures of the mermaid's face and arm in my final review as still images if you're interested to see how I substituted it. I mean, I did it very, let's put that there, let's put that there, so I had no real rhyme or reason to it. Just did what felt right. And yeah, to give you a bit of a guidance. So this afternoon, unsurprisingly, I'm planning to do this section, about this much. Should give us the next big bubble, I guess. And the jellyfish. And part of her skin. So the assistant has left us for the moment. I think she heard something interesting. Not sure if it's the power tools in the background. If you can hear those, I'm sorry about that. The house next door is finished now. Everyone has moved in. But just a few yards up the street, they have started building another one. And yeah, the full opera of power tools. Alright, stitching. As I told you, I have moved on to Baby It's Cold Outside. I have readjusted the position on the scroll frame a little bit. For me, it's easier to stitch on these things if the section I'm stitching on is close to the bottom of the frame. So I have made it a bit smaller in total. Last time you saw that it was on the full length, and I have repositioned my current stitchy position. Also, for the first time, I'm using these side tension thingies, because especially with picture this plus fabric, but also with the hand dyed by Rolander, I've noticed I sometimes have a problem getting the tension right, as far as that it wobbles this way, you know. And I decided to get some of these tensioners, side tensioners, to help with that. They work better if the piece of fabric is much smaller than this in the frame. So this frame, as you can see, fits the fabric pretty perfectly. There is not much space for the for the tensioner, so I pretty much I was supposed to put this thing here, the little clamp on this part, but this is of course way too long. But so far I can say it works pretty fine. Not a bad purchase. I got those of Etsy. If I can remember, I will put in the link in the description box down below if you're interested. I think it was a shop from Lithuania, so probably for my US viewers there would be a better option, but just so you know what you're looking for. And yeah, this is going to go back in the whip pile for a few days, because today is the 15th, and you know this means a new part of the Christmas cell. The Barbara Anna Santa's Trip Mystery Christmas cell dropped, so it's only been a few days since you saw this, but this is where we are now with this piece. And the second part here dropped today. Going to put in the picture of the model stitch in here. And do you notice something about the model stitch? I found it very funny, because whoever stitched this, I don't know if Barbara stitches her own models, but whoever stitched this forgot to stitch the belt and the hand of Mrs. Santa. Poor thing. She is split in the middle. Also, the Chinese Zodiac is going to drop later today, but since this was first, I'm going to stitch this one first. And I think I am going to put in beads on Rudolph's collar, because if I remember correctly, his color is red and then there are golden bells on it, right? So the 3 or 4 golden stitches, I don't have it in front of my eyes right now, so I'm flying by the seats of my pants. The few gold stitches on his collar, I'm going to replace them with golden beads, and I'm going to try and see if I find something for his nose. His nose is a bit of an awkward size. I don't know if I want to go with an 11.0 or something else. I guess 11.0 would be best because I'm pretty sure I don't have anything bigger. But maybe a bright metallic red bead if I have that. I'm not entirely sure. I really would like to use a bicone, to be honest, but I only have 4mm bicones if I'm not mistaken, and those are way too big, sadly. But I have to go through my beads. I'm not quite there yet. I need to stitch the block first. Shouldn't take too long though, because as you can see, it's pretty much not complicated. So, and I have to check. I might have to purchase one more skein of this DMC color. I've used up a lot of it for the frame, and now that she has released the next sneak peeks, it is clear that she switches out between red frames and then these green frames and then red again. So I should have, if she keeps with the red, green, I should have 4 more green frames to stitch and whatever else is in there. So I have to check if my floss is actually enough. That's the only thing you have to make sure of if you change the size for anything you stitch. You have to make sure that you either, if you know the stitch count, sometimes the designer will give stitch counts for colors, that you maybe purchase a few more. So if it says 1, that you purchase 2. I mean, with the DMC, that's absolutely not going to break the bank. But I have the same issue now with, sorry for pulling it back and forth, I have the same issue now with the Baby It's Cold Outside, because I am pretty sure that my 1 skein of Gentle Arts Pomegranate is not enough. So I have ordered 1 more yesterday. I ordered it from the same store, and as far as I know, she has not run out of her stock since I ordered the first. So I'm pretty hopeful that it will be the same batch, the same dye batch, because I am now well into the second half of the skein. I still have to do this part of the house. There's still the frame, and I've decided to do the special version Beth Twist did. When this stitch along started, she charted a cardinal for this piece, because a cardinal is a bird that symbolizes remembering lost ones, I think. Can't remember anymore. But instead of the trees that you see here on the right, in the picture there, of course, I'm not here. I'm not seeing things, don't worry. Instead of the 5 trees, there are only going to be 3, I believe, and then there's going to be a big red cardinal here. So in comparison to the house, he is absurdly big, but I liked how she charted it, and I decided to do it that way. And that bird needs quite a few stitches in that red too, so I might run out or might not run out, I have no idea. And then of course the border has only a few stitches in the red, but still better safe than sorry. It's a gorgeous color. I'm pretty sure I will encounter it in future patterns too. I can't imagine a world where people don't use this color in their charts when they like to dye, to chart in over-dyed flosses. Words are hard. So, back to plans. So the immediate plan for today is to go back to the Barbara Anna and stitch the second block of this piece here. And then sometime tonight, I never can remember at which time they drop it, but it's usually evening my time, so I decided to go with this first. And tonight the fourth pattern of the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Chinese Zodiac Cell. I blanked on that one at the moment here. Should drop, so this is going to be the next thing I'm going to work on. And afterwards I'm going back to Baby It's Cold Outside, because I still have this this mad goal to finish this. But I think it's actually not that mad of a goal. The house went much faster than I thought once I got into the checkerboard section, which I enjoyed quite a bit. And the second half of the house is not so big. So last thing is knitting, and like I said, it's not super impressive. I also forgot to put my stitch marker in, so you have to trust what I tell you. Why did that come? I need to see what I'm doing, computer. So I knit about this much. So this is about 6 rows. I knit exactly one more of these eyelet sections. So every eyelet section is yeah, it's 6 rows. And that's as much as I did. I'm going to try to show you where I am right now as far as the whole length goes. So I am right now, my double stitch is here, I think. Okay, no. No. So my don't. My double stitch is here, and my tip. Ow! That was my finger, not the needle. No. And the tip of the shawl is... Cat, you are going to hurt yourself again. Stop it. Is this not the fourth time I try to say these words? I wouldn't be surprised. So, here, tip here. So I need to get down to here. This is where my... Oh, Katze. She just doesn't want me to show you this. So, I need just these 10 seconds, cat. So, where am I? So 1, 2, 3. I need to get down to there. So it's always going to be 3 rows for each eyelet section, back and forth. And once I reach this stitch, this side of the pattern is done. So let's keep your fingers crossed that I have a bit more knitting time than I gave myself in the last 2 days. I pretty much did not craft yesterday, except for the one section of diamond painting. I think I stared too long at my computer screen when I had to do all the finance stuff, because for the rest of the night my eyes were really burning and feeling very dry, so anything that required any kind of concentration was not fun. It took me ages to finish this, usually 2-hour section of diamond painting. I think I spent about 3.5 hours on that. So that's how many breaks I had to take and look off into the distance to readjust my eyes. And yeah, so that's why I decided to try and call it an early night. That didn't go too well either, of course, because I'm an insomniac and I did not fall asleep until 1:30, I believe it was. So didn't work out as intended. Oh, she has now moved to her cardboard box and she's pouting. Well, sorry cat, not sorry. I tried. I really tried. You did not, human. Alright guys, the construction site is giving us a moment of silence. I don't know if you are noticing it, but I am feeling the silence right now, and it's so good. it's too warm to keep all the windows closed. That's the problem. There's no air conditioning in Germany, in case you wondered. So our houses are in general not air conditioned. Probably there are a few now, newly built ones, because our summers are getting hotter, but usually not. So open window it is. And today is actually a grey and rainy day, so it's a perfect opportunity to air the apartments out a little bit of the heat. Anyway, it's picking up again. Oh dear Jesus. This is so going on my nerves. Anyway, what else was I going to say? I've completely forgotten about it. That's when you don't get enough sleep. But yeah. I hope you have a wonderful day. I should be back by tomorrow. As far as I know, there is not going to be any more interruptions to my regular daily Crafty Chat schedule. I have no other video planned for today, so for this week, not today, this week. Brain, I know you want coffee. I'm going to give you coffee now. Enjoy whatever you're doing, and I hope you will be back tomorrow for more confused shenanigans. Bye, guys.